there are parts of yourself you show to the world. The kind part, the strong part, the polite part, the part that knows how to survive. But there are also parts you hide. Anger, fear, jealousy, shame, grief, the memories you do not speak about, the instincts you were told were wrong. Modern psychology gave one name to this hidden place: the shadow. But long before Jung wrote about the shadow self, many ancestral traditions already understood something very similar. That what we reject inside ourselves does not disappear. It waits. It speaks through dreams, through fear, through repeated patterns, through the people who trigger us most. And perhaps this is where Amazonian and South American shamanic wisdom still has something to teach the modern mind. Hidden Amazon wisdom is inspired by the real work of my mother, a South American writer and anthropologist who studied Indigenous cultures and shamanic traditions in situ across South America and Mexico. She did not study these cultures from a distance. She lived close to them. She listened. She observed. And her work opened the door to the question behind this channel. What did ancestral wisdom understand about the human mind that modern life has forgotten? Carl Jung described the shadow as the part of the personality we do not want to see. It is not simply bad. It is not evil. It is not something to destroy. The shadow is everything we have pushed away because it did not fit the person we believed we had to become. A child who was told not to be angry may grow into an adult who cannot set boundaries. A person who was told to be strong may hide sadness so deeply that they no longer recognize it. Someone who was taught to be good may bury their desires, their instincts, and their voice. But the hidden self does not stay silent. It appears in the body. It appears in dreams. It appears in relationships. It appears in the same mistake repeated again and again. The shadow is not your enemy. It is the part of you waiting to be seen. In many shamanic traditions, the human being was not seen only as a rational mind. A person was a living connection between body, spirit, memory, nature, ancestors, dreams, and unseen forces. When someone suffered, the question was not only, "What is wrong with you?" The deeper question was, what has become disconnected? What part of the soul has been lost? What fear has taken power? What truth has been ignored? What energy has been pushed into the dark? This is very close to the psychological idea that suffering can come when parts of the self are rejected. The shaman did not always try to erase the darkness. Often the task was to enter it, to listen to interpret, to bring back what was lost. This is why the figure of the shaman is so powerful psychologically. The shaman is the one who can travel between worlds, light and dark, known and unknown, human and spirit, fear and wisdom, the ordinary world and the invisible one. In Jungian language, we could say the shaman enters the unconscious, not to escape reality, but to bring something back, a message, a symbol, a missing piece of the self. And this is exactly what shadow work asks of us. Not to become perfect, but to become more whole. To stop pretending that only the nice, acceptable, controlled parts of us exist. Because wholeness does not come from rejecting darkness. Wholeness comes from learning how to hold it with awareness. You do not become whole by being perfect. You become whole by becoming honest. In everyday life, the shadow often appears in simple ways. When someone irritates you more than they should, when you judge another person harshly, when you keep attracting the same emotional situation, when you say, "I would never be like that," but secretly feel something move inside you. Jung called this projection. It means we often see outside ourselves what we cannot yet recognize inside ourselves. The person who angers you may be carrying a part of you that you have not allowed yourself to understand. The emotion you hate in others may be an emotion you were never allowed to express. This does not mean every difficult person is your teacher. It does not mean you should accept harm, but it does mean that your reactions contain information. They show you where your inner world is still speaking. Your triggers are not always the truth, but they are always information. So what can this ancient and modern wisdom teach us? First, do not be afraid of your hidden parts. Second, do not confuse the shadow with evil. Third, pay attention to what repeats in your life. Fourth, listen to dreams, emotions, and strong reactions as symbolic messages. And fifth, remember that the goal is not to destroy the dark side. The goal is to bring consciousness to it. The Amazonian forest is often imagined as a place of mystery, danger, and hidden life. But perhaps that is also why it becomes such a powerful image for the psyche. The mind too has a forest, dense, ancient, alive, full of things we do not fully understand. And somewhere in that inner forest, there may be a part of you waiting to return. The shadow is not the end of you. It is the doorway back to yourself. This is the first reflection from hidden Amazon wisdom, a place where South American shamanic traditions, ancestral memory, and Jungian psychology meet. Not to give easy answers, but to ask deeper questions. What have you hidden from yourself? And what part of you is ready to be seen